This is Umar for BoxNation in association with Global Next Trade. We're in the land of the brave.
Land of the brave, yeah.
Absolutely, and Queensbury have got a huge show here, October 4th, and some guys that you know obviously really well. We'll get into that, Josh, in the latter part of this interview. But firstly, the obvious question is, how are you? How's the eye? How are you holding up?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not going to lie, I've been a wee bit struggling the last couple of weeks, or the last 3 or 4 weeks, you know, since I announced it, or since I heard the news about this. It was kind of like my sort of world caving in a little bit, you know, because it's all I've known since I was 14, 15, boxing, then get told, you got to watch what you're doing, take another big blow in here, it could be lights out in the eye. So that was quite a tough pill to swallow. Given that I was just like falling off the edge of a cliff, you know. I was in the gym, I was keeping fit, I was in good shape, I was ready to go fighting again. You know, I was like, right, let's get the rematch with Echo and put that one right, you know. And I went to go just get a checkup really, and they took the pictures of the eyes and stuff, and I got the result, like, you've got a tear in your retinal tissue, and I was like, oh shit. So I went to go and get it laser treated just to get it nipped up, and when they went and done it, there ended up being, I think there was six tears in my retinal tissue. The doctor was like, you're kind of very fortunate, you're sitting here and you still got your sight, you know. So it was a bit of a shock when I heard that, and I was a bit like, right, well, how long? Me being me, I was like, well, how long till I could get back into the training and start fighting and doing that again? But they were like, listen, you took a big thing here. If you risk that again, you could risk going blind. So it's been a kind of tough couple of weeks, kind of processing it and coming to terms with it. But I can look back on it and say, look, well, I've achieved what I've achieved in support. You know, I've done great things. I've become undisputed world champion in only 18 fights, and been Madison Square Gardens, and been to Vegas, and been to New York 2 times and fought and stuff. So I can look back and be very proud of my career and what I've achieved. So there's that, but there is still because it's not on my own terms kind of thing, you know. But I'm sitting here talking to you and I can see you, so that's a huge bonus.
Obviously,
you know, so
of course.
That's a huge bonus. So I'm still gutted about it, but I'm okay. You know, I'd be gutted if this had happened maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I hadn't quite had achieved what I wanted to achieve. I'd be sitting here quite gutted and bitter about it. But I've achieved it. It's happened at a time where I've achieved what I've achieved, and so I'm okay with it, I'm at peace with it, but I'm still a bit gutted that I could have done a couple more and went out on a win, you know, because my last couple of fights were shit really. So yeah, I mean, I could have went out on a win, but I never, so that is what it is.
Josh, I don't remember, I wasn't alive, but obviously it was very well documented about Frank Bruno and his eye issue, and he had a big battle with it and was told not to box, and he came back. So you've talked about a bit of a battle with yourself initially. Do you think this is going to drag on, or can you be at peace in retirement?
Remains to be seen, you know, because I'm still kind of struggling a little bit. I'm still kind of coming to terms with it. That's the end. I mean, I've spoke to the wife a few times and saying, well, once this heals up properly and the drops and that, I'll stop the eye drops and I can go again. It's healed up now, I can go again. No, but when you think about it and what the doctors have said, and you're a bit like, I probably could come back and go again, but it's a big risk. It's a big risk. So I don't know. I'm kind of still struggling and wrestling with the fact and letting go all of a sudden. You know, I wanted to just have maybe 1 or 2 more, and that would have been me anyway. But no, it's been tough, but I mean, I'll get there. I mean, it's good now to be on the other side and advise the guys coming through, and I've kind of paved the way for the next generation of Scottish fighters coming through and providing platforms for them now. So now Nathaniel's the lead role, so I'm glad that he's now is going to be the leading horse, leading the race to keep Scotland on the map. So I'm at the back of them all, and full at the back of them, and hopefully they keep going on, and hopefully they can win world titles and keep putting Scotland on the map. So yeah, I'll be right at the back of them. So I'm a full support of anybody from here doing it, and I hope they keep putting the Scottish flag on the ground and representing. So yeah, I'm proud of the next generation coming through, and I'm proud that I've provided that platform for the next guys coming through. So yeah, it's now time to sit back and be a supporter of the next ones coming through, and I'll be looking to give them advice when I can if they ever come to me for advice and stuff. And yeah, I'll definitely be more than happy to provide them with help where I can help out. A
bit like how Ken Buchanan did with yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I had a little bit of help with Ken and Alex Arthur and Willie Lemond and Ricky Burns to an extent as well. You know, I was sparring with him when I was coming through as an amateur, and so all these guys helped me and helped pave the way for me. So maybe it's now time for me to do the same for the next generation coming through.
Yeah, there's some great talents on that Queensbury in the Zone show, as I said, October 4th. I just want to end on this, Josh, because I said, you said you admitted yourself your last 2 fights were definitely below par for yourself. Yeah. You've had to retire because of this eye problem, but not many people could even dream about the career that you had, let alone actually achieve. And I just want to read this. So, Josh Taylor became the second Scotsman to be undisputed world champion, which is incredible in itself. But what's more staggering is he was only the 5th man to do so in the 4-belt era, after Bernard Hopkins, Jermaine Taylor, Terence Crawford, and Alexander Usyk. That boy who grew up, who wanted to be, I don't know, even just a British champion, or just have a professional fight. When I read that out and talk about people like Hopkins, Usyk, Crawford, you're in that elite club. Yeah. What does that mean to that little boy that grew up one day?
It's kind of astonishing, really. You know, it's kind of, when you think about it, which I've had time to chance now the last couple of weeks to sit back and reflect on what I've done. You know, I've done my kind of sitting down in the dumps, and that's the end of the road. But when you sit and think like that, which I have a couple of times, I actually saw that poster the other day, and I looked at it and I posted it, and I was like, do you know what I've done? Astonishing, really. You know, for starting out as a little scrawny kid, that just liked to fight, to only dreaming about becoming a world champion, to not only becoming a world champion, but becoming an undisputed world champion. And as you say, only the 5th guy to do it, and the first person in the UK, and to do it in the 4-belt era. It's just like, I didn't think I would do that. I knew I would become world champion, but I didn't think I would go as far as I went. So I can look back with immense pride and very proud. Although I'm still hurting at the minute, but I can look back and be very, very proud. So yeah, it's nice when I hear that, and it's been really nice since I announced my retirement, all the messages of support that I've had. I've literally still got hundreds to go through. So yeah, it's been a really nice reception, and folk from all over the place, like folk from down south, folk from abroad, New Zealand, Australia, New York, a couple of people from New York as well. So I've had a whole load of messages of support. So it's been very comforting. Although it's been crap to announce it the way I have and going out the way I have, it's been quite comforting, all the messages of support that I've had. So I thank you. That's kind of helped to soften the blow a little bit.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. It's thoroughly deserved, and you should be proud of yourself, because I said it was a staggering career. Yeah. And that it's, as you said, time for you to lead the next generation on from Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely, and be a cheerleader for them now, and push them on now, and when I can, I'll give them bits of advice, and if they want it, but when I can and where I can, I'll definitely be there to help them and lead them, and try and just give my experience and give my point of view, and how to sort of live the life, and how to train, and what ways to go. So if they ever want a little bit of advice, I'm always there to give it. Absolutely, and more than happy to as well.
Brilliant. Well, listen, congratulations on a legendary career. And
thank you very much.
I don't say that lightly. And enjoy your retirement.
All right, thanks, mate. Thank you very much.